Hi and welcome back. So fighting against ticks and fleas can feel like a full-time job sometimes in the summer. And I'm always looking for particular things that can help me kind of limit the amount of ticks there are going to be in my home and on my animals and on myself. And diatomaceous earth is one of the things that always comes up and that people seem to have really strong feelings about. Those who love it, absolutely love it. Those who hate it, would never use it. I thought it was very interesting, so I went on a super deep dive research to decide if I wanted to use it for my animals. And spoiler alert, I decided it's not a good idea. But I wanted to compile everything that I found, all of that info in this video so that you can make up your mind for yourself and for your animal family and see if that's the right choice for you. And if you're new here, hi, I'm Micol. I'm an animal osteopath and homeopath, and I'm a pet nutrition specialist. And obviously I'm the proud mama of my doggy Beria and my lady kitties, Britannia and Caledonia. And I'm always trying to combine a little bit more of a holistic approach to conventional medicine. And that's what led me to looking at different options when trying to control tick and fleas in my home and on my animals. And the first question I had is, what is diatomaceous earth? And the answer actually surprised me. So I thought that it was just rocks, but it's actually the crushed up shells of diatoms. And diatoms are microalgae. They are very, very abundant in all of our lakes and in our seas. And they actually provide between 20 and 50% of all of the oxygen that's produced in the world today. Diatoms have these kind of hard shells, and these hard shells are made of silica. So when diatoms die, their bodies will settle to the bottom of lakes and the sea, and they will get compacted in sedimentary rocks. And these rocks can then be used and ground into a very fine powder, and that's what diatomaceous earth is. Because diatomaceous earth is made up of the pieces of really tiny organisms, obviously the crystals that it forms are very small and they are very jagged. And this is where they come in really handy against ticks and fleas. When you sprinkle this on top of these bugs, the little particles will actually start jamming themselves in and around the animals' bodies, and they will eventually break their way into their body and will start actually damaging the bug's organs, causing the bug to eventually die. Now, of course, this makes it sound like it's the ideal solution against ticks and fleas, especially when you have an infestation in your home and you don't want to use a chemical pesticide in your home and in your rugs. And this is what pet owners mostly use it for, so they either spread it around on dog and cat's bedding or on their rugs at home, or they actually use it on their animals' bodies and just kind of, somewhat dry shampoo them with diatomaceous earth to get rid of ticks and fleas. And some owners will go so far as to give diatomaceous earth to their animals to eat. Now, there is food-grade diatomaceous earth, and it's supposed to have really great benefits when it comes to skin and hair and nails and bones and joints. And when I researched, I couldn't find anything that supported these claims. But I do like to keep an open mind, honestly, to remedies who may not yet have scientific proof on them. What I did find was a lot of evidence as to why diatomaceous earth can be extremely deleterious to our health and to our animals' health, which is what eventually led me to decide not to use it for me and for my animals. So diatomaceous earth can come in two forms: amorphous and crystalline. Amorphous is the little bit of the bigger particle. Usually they go between like 7 and 200 micrometers, tiny particles. But the amorphous form, which is actually what usually you get when you buy food-grade diatomaceous earth, is fairly innocuous. It doesn't hurt us because the particles are fairly big. The issue is the presence of crystalline diatomaceous earth. Now, crystalline is actually much smaller. They are the ones that are closer to the 7 micrometers range, and these are really dangerous and have horrible repercussions on our health. Crystalline diatomaceous earth has been linked to silicosis, or basically black lung disease, cancer, and even death in people who breathe it in regularly. And this is where I kind of started falling initially, because I thought, well, it's not like I have a tick infestation or a flea infestation every single day in my home. What if I just used it once? That's not regular use. And this is where I was wrong. So I found this article and it completely changed my mind. Let's look at it together and let me show you what I was thinking. So it states, it can irritate the nose and nasal passages during breathing. Okay, In case of large amounts of inhalation, it can contribute to coughing and shortness of breath. And I thought, all right, well, that makes sense. I mean, I actually have dust allergies, and that's basically what happens when I do spring cleaning. So I thought, okay, I can be careful, but as long as I only, as I said, use it once, then I would be okay. But the article goes on, and it says, the silicosis and related problems can potentially occur, 1, after chronic effects or chronic exposure. And so far, so good. I thought, well, that's not going to be us. But listen to this. When the silicon dioxide or silica material contains high percentages of crystalline silica, this is important, and 3, in the workers mining the diatomaceous earth and related materials. And it was actually this point too that got me to change my mind. So when it contains high amounts of crystalline diatomaceous earth. Now, obviously, if I'm buying things for my animals, I'm researching it, I'm looking at the producer, and I'm making sure that I'm trying to buy the highest quality possible. But this is kind of where we fall, because diatomaceous earth is so small that unless you were to check the whole bag under a microscope to check the particle size, there's no way that as consumers, we would be able to tell how much, if any, crystalline diatomaceous earth is present in the bag that we buy. Now, obviously, when we're talking about small particles, we're talking about dust. And dust, as we know, can be a huge issue. Dust is composed of small solid particles, conventionally taken as those particles below 75 micrometers in diameter, which settle out under their own weight, but which may remain suspended for some time. And this is exactly the issue. So because the particles are so small, they can basically remain in the air. And this is where they can do serious damage to our lungs. And they can do that in 2 ways. The first way is they're abrasive. So we have tiny, tiny particles that will go really deep into our lungs and into the alveoli, so the parts of our lungs that actually help us take in oxygen and give up carbon dioxide. And they will actually rub against them. And just like they did with ticks and fleas, they will make micro holes and they will really damage these tiny, tiny structures that are absolutely necessary for us for life. The other issue is because these particles are so small, they deposit themselves into our lungs and in our lymph nodes, and here they can cause huge issues. So this is what really made up my mind. Now, I linked everything that I found in the description, so you can actually go and see for yourself if this is for you and your animals. But I'm really curious if there are any of you who have used it, maybe successfully, and who actually still feel comfortable using it. And if so, leave me a comment. I'm really curious. I was really on the fence and I was willing to keep an open mind, but I felt that this really kind of went beyond my comfort level. What I am using though that are working really well are nematodes, amber colors, spot on, and shampoo products, and frequency tags as well. And I talk about all of that in this video. So if you found this helpful and you're looking for maybe other options, I highly recommend that you check out that video. Thank you for watching us. Give us a like if you liked it. We really appreciate it and really like to see your comments. Give your dog and cat a kiss. We'll see you in the next one.